Just how badly did that go yesterday?
Well, I think a lot of that is going to be up to how Zelensky takes his next steps, guys. It was very disheartening for the world to watch that unfold yesterday, in addition to being just tremendously uncomfortable to witness.
What needs to change? How do things need to be different this time to get that deal over the line?
Well, just like Trump said, Russia has to come to the table, so must Ukraine. And that looked to be in jeopardy after President Zelensky was effectively ejected from the White House. But he has since said that he is willing to come back. He is willing to talk about the minerals deal and getting those three major parties, the U.S., the Ukraine, and Russia, to at least have a conversation will be a major first step that will accelerate it greatly. The important thing in terms of tonight's Oscars is Gene won 2 Academy Awards for Unforgiven and The French Connection, of course. He was much loved by all of his colleagues as well as audiences, and Morgan Freeman, his co-star and friend, is expected to give some kind of tribute. We can also look for some heartfelt moments regarding the Hollywood's devastating losses from the recent wildfires. Those are words and themes that he has been throwing around since the campaign trail, and he likes to present himself as being the leader who will be able to avert a World War III. So it's a theme that he comes back to. And I think right now, in the case of Ukraine and Russia, Adam, as you said earlier, America has to be involved in that process. His mother just was in love with Queen Elizabeth. That was passed down. We rarely see Donald Trump get starstruck, but we all remember how starstruck he was by your queen, and that has passed down the generation to King Charles. He tends to be getting his way quite often. When he doubles down and plows ahead forward, steamrolling his way through, he tends to get what he wants. And this may seem new to a lot of us. They're like, where did this concept come from? But he had brought it up tangentially, I would say, in his first term. So, but now that it's his second term, he wants to get these things done.
Good to see you this morning, Nelson. Thanks for getting up for us so early in the morning. How's it going down stateside? Does it feel like Liberation Day to you?
Well, don't worry about my sleep. Nobody can sleep. Everybody's on edge about these tariffs. In fact, 60% of Americans disagree with this particular trade approach. However, that said, I agree with your previous guest that calm behavior, steady as we go, is the correct approach to this, because Donald Trump famously enjoys the art of the deal. And the 10% baseline tariffs will not go into effect yet for another week. And I think he's using this opportunity. Yesterday was a show. 60 different countries are going to be affected, and he is willing to negotiate. I think he's waiting now to see what the responses will be from other countries, and then he can go from there.